Hello and welcome back to another video in the world of Monster Hunter. This is my longsword progression. I picked up longsword quite early on, but I never really got used to it simply because it's not heavy bowgun. So there's a lot to go through here, and the progression is kind of difficult simply because not much really works without almost going completely 100% optimal all the damn time, because as we all know, longsword is one hell of a damage dealer. So without further ado, let's have a look at the pre-elder longsword. So we're going to be using the Kodachi longsword simply because it has pretty decent affinity. Quite a lot is weak to thunder, although it's not the greatest hit zone values. Kulu Yaku Headpiece Alpha for the Weakness Exploit, Rathalos Mail Beta for Weakness Exploit, Odogaron Van Braces for Critical Eye, Odogaron Coil for Critical Eye, and Odogaron Greaves for Critical Eye. It's Alpha, Beta, Alpha. Rounding it off, I am using the Attack Charm simply because at this point you probably won't have the greatest access to Handicraft, and level 1 Handicraft isn't that useful, so Attack Charm can be utilised here, although start working on your Handicraft charm pretty darn quick. Now the next build will give you a weapon that will last you throughout the entire game, unless you get really unlucky with Kulve Taroth. Riva Calamity. This is quite simply your best bet. And we're using the Nergigante Helm Alpha with an attack decoration, Rathalos Mail Beta for Weakness Exploit, Kaiser Gamma Van Braces for Weakness Exploit, Nergigante Coil Beta, Attack Boost level 2, Death Stench Heal Beta, and a Handicraft Charm 3. That in total will give us 50% affinity, a nice chunk of EFR, Handicraft level 5, Attack Boost level 4, Weakness Exploit level 3, and Maximum Might level 2. This is basically it until you can get endgame sets. All you can really do from here is add decorations in, and one such example is this. So as you can see, it's the exact same armor pieces, but I'm up to 70% affinity here. I've added in an expert, a critical, another mighty, and 2 more expert. This is just circumstantial. This is sort of like an idea of what I have done to give you quite a hefty chunk of damage. Obviously these are going to be down to what decorations you have or end up farming. Then of course you have augments, so affinity and health are what I would say is the go-to. That would put you at 80% affinity, and the health return is just going to help with mistakes that you potentially could make. I'd always say put the health augment in first, because if you're dead you don't do damage anyway, so trying to bolster that little bit of extra damage, not really worthwhile. And that is basically it for your poverty builds with longsword. It is really quite a stringent class. You can't really get too much out of it without going full on meta. So here come the endgame builds, and of which there are many. So now these builds are going to be in sort of like weakest to strongest kind of situations. The first build is Divine Slasher with a damage augment. If you really want, I personally would go for health, but apparently I'm crazy for doing that on this build. Elementless decoration, Nergigante Helm Alpha with attack, and then 4-piece Draken Shock. Handicraft decoration, 3 tenderizers, a critical, and a Handicraft charm. Being that you're already going to have Riva Calamity, here we are. For maximum optimization, you want an affinity and a damage augment. I would still recommend health. And Nergigante Helm Alpha with an expert. And then Shock, 4-piece Draken. You're going to need a mighty decoration, 3 tenderizers, a critical, and a Handicraft charm. Is anyone noticing a pattern here on how longswords are working at the moment? Time for an anti-kidding build, or Valhazak. Basically anything that's weak to fire. Kjar Sword Fire with a health augment, Gala Alpha helmet with a flawless attack, and 4-piece Draken. And we're going to be using 3 tenderizers and a flawless, and oh my god, we're mixing it up, a blaze charm. Shock horror. And then we have the weapon that finally beats Riva Calamity. This is the Kjar Sword Decay, health augment, attack decoration, Draken Alpha helmet with a tenderizer and an expert, Empress Beta chest with 2 tenderizers and an attack. Draken Alpha gloves with 2 tenderizers, Draken Alpha waist with a flawless, Draken Alpha boots with a critical, and a handicraft charm. This is potentially one of the most damaging longswords in the game regardless. There's a little bit of math run around with overall combo damage and then Helm Splitter. Basically, the Devil Joe build will do more damage in Helm Splitter, but then as soon as you start doing combos on the ground, especially with your Spirit combo, this build will, well, that weapon itself will just completely decimate the Reaver Calamity. So unless you're some sort of god that can spam on repeat Helm Splitter, your best bet, if you have the Kya sword Decay, is to go with that. And then finally we have the best raw damage longsword in the game, and this is my personal favourite longsword simply because I haven't really got to worry about elemental matchups. This is a lovely build, and of course we're back to using Kulve to rough weapons still, so I hope RN Jesus is on your side. This is the Taroth Sword Fire with a health augment and an elementless decoration. The fire is hidden, by the way. Draken Alpha helmet with a flawless and attack, Empress Mail Beta with 2 experts and an attack, Draken Alpha gloves with 2 tenderizers, Draken Alpha coil with a critical, Draken Alpha boots with a tenderizer, and then finally a mighty charm. This is pretty much one of the rare longswords that comes with so much white naturally. It's unreal. Even if you don't try and go for critical spots or weak points, it's going to be near enough a miracle if you run out of white sharpness. So you should be pretty much on top of your damage a lot of the time. Anything you're going to need to worry about is peak performance, but health augment, and with the damage output that thing can do, shouldn't really worry too much about it. Now, I do apologise for my gameplay. I am not the best longsword player. I use them with a little bit of a fun twist every now and then, a bit like Lance. I'm just terrible with these weapons, but they're fun. Anyway, if you like my content, perhaps consider clicking the subscribe button. It's free after all. If not, well, I hope you've enjoyed your stay. Good luck, have fun, and don't die. It's bad for the health.